Ted Cruz joins us now from Washington. Ted, Lindsey Graham, John Boehner, all these people want to negotiate today. I think it was Paul Ryan, I'm not really sure. Somebody else came out and said, hey, maybe we should just get some tax things done here and negotiate. What's happening? What's the latest in Washington on this?
Well, look, it's fast-moving, but I think the focus needs to stay where it's been all along, which is Obamacare and what a disaster it is for the American people. And I think we need to focus on getting real relief for the millions of Americans who are getting hammered by Obamacare, who are losing their jobs, who are being forced into part-time work, who are facing skyrocketing insurance premiums and losing their health insurance. That's what we need to focus on, and it's what I hope House Republicans and Senate Republicans keep their focus on.
The president has, for the first time, a 37% approval rating. That came from the AP today. That's shocking, especially because the media is in the bag. What do you think that says?
Well, I think it reflects how the president has approached this. You know, if you contrast how Bill Clinton approached the shutdown, Bill Clinton rolled up his sleeves, he got in the middle, he tried to resolve it. In this instance, we have an absentee president. We have a president who is completely disengaged. You know, the House is working to fund vital government priorities. The House has voted, for example, to fund the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs. Regardless of what one thinks on the shutdown, everyone ought to be able to come together in a bipartisan way and say, let's stand by our vets. And yet President Obama has threatened to veto funding for the VA. And Senate Democrats are blocking it. They're blocking funding for our parks. They're blocking funding for war memorials.
You know what?
They're blocking funding for cancer research.
It's much more than blocking. I've never seen anything like this.
Yep.
We have a gentleman on today who had a tour up in Yellowstone. The rangers told them, you can't even be on the boardwalk because we can't maintain them anymore. And they cordoned them off, wouldn't let them go see Old Faithful. They were at the hotel right there. I mean, this is spite.
Well, and I'll tell you, I feel bad for these park rangers. You know, some of them have commented that they don't like being asked to inflict unnecessary pain, unnecessary inconvenience on the American people. And the administration is just playing partisan games, and it's obvious what they're doing. And I think the reason why the president's approval rating is plummeting is that Republicans are acting to fund vital government priorities, and Democrats and President Obama refuse to negotiate, and they're playing partisan games, and it's not right.
So help me out on this, because he is spending a lot of time talking about how the economy is going to collapse. The debt ceiling is now tied into this. And, I mean, to talk people down from the tree on that one. Why won't the economy collapse?
Well, have you ever seen a president trying so hard to talk down the markets? I mean, he's practically pleading with the markets to go down.
I know.
Because everything this administration does is partisan and political. Listen, at the end of the day, the president of the United States has a responsibility to the country, not just to be the fundraiser in chief and the partisan in chief, but to be the commander in chief. You know, the president needs to stop scaremongering, stop threatening a default. I'll tell you what a responsible president would say. A responsible president would say, under no circumstances will the United States of America ever default on the debt.
Well, if you don't raise it, let me play the devil's advocate. If you don't raise the debt ceiling, why wouldn't we default?
Well, interest on the debt is about 8% of federal revenues. There is plenty of federal revenues to service the debt, and any president that is being responsible should promise, no matter what happens, we're going to honor our commitments. You know, it's striking. The House of Representatives passed a bill that I call the Default Prevention Act, that would have made it impossible to default on the debt, because it would have said if a debt ceiling is ever not raised, interest on the debt will always, always, always be paid. What happened? The Senate Democrats, Harry Reid, killed it in the Senate. In fact, Reid referred to that as the, quote, pay China first bill. I mean, they're now insulting the idea that we should honor our debts and not default on our debt. It's really irresponsible.
It's crazy. All right. Thank you very much, Ted. I appreciate it. We'll talk again. Keep up the good work.
It's